Life often feels like a marketplace of dreams where nothing comes without a price. Not money alone, but effort, persistence, and resilience that shape destiny. Think about the struggles you face, the small desires you carry, the moments you whisper to yourself at night, wondering if change is possible tomorrow. This story will hold a mirror to your journey. It's not just listening practice. It's a cinematic reminder that determination transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Hello, everyone, today. I have an amazing story for you. It's not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story is called Nothing is Free, and it will show you that hard work and determination can change lives. Here you see the core of every human journey. Nothing arrives without effort. Nothing stays without sacrifice, and nothing grows without consistent persistence and faith. There was a young man named Leo, 20 years old, living in a small, quiet town surrounded by mountains. Leo had big dreams. He wanted to own a chain of restaurants and become a successful entrepreneur. Leo's ambition mirrors the desires we all carry, perhaps mastering English, building a career, or creating stability for loved ones, dreams that feel distant but deeply possible. But life wasn't easy for him. Leo's family was struggling financially. His father, Mark, was a mechanic, and his mother, Claire, cleaned houses to make ends meet. Leo's younger sister, Sophie, was just 10 and looked up to him as her hero. The weight of responsibility often falls hardest on those with vision. Like Leo, many of us feel the burden of family expectations fueling our persistence. One cold evening, Leo sat outside his small house staring at the stars. He whispered to himself, "I want to give my family a better life, but how do I start when we barely have enough to survive?" Every dream begins in silence, in those quiet whispers of doubt. Yet, those whispers contain the seeds of change waiting for action to water them. The next day, Leo shared his dreams with his father. Mark sighed and said, "Leo, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small." This truth applies to learning too. English fluency, like success, requires steady effort. Nothing is free, but every step compounds into unstoppable progress. Leo thought deeply about his father's words. Then an idea struck him. Noticed that in his town, people loved fresh bread but had to travel to a bakery far away. He decided to start selling fresh bread locally. Here, imagination became action. Ideas only transform lives when paired with courage. Just as practicing one English phrase daily can build a foundation for fluency. But there was a problem. Leo had no money to buy the bread. He decided to take a chance and approach the bakery's owner, Mr. Anderson. Leo walked miles to meet Mr. Anderson, a grumpy old man who rarely trusted anyone. Dreams are tested first by obstacles, then by courage. When we take the step despite fear, doors begin to open, even when guarded by skeptics. With confidence, Leo said, "Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town, but I don't have money to buy it up front. Can you trust me for 1 week? I will sell the bread, return your money, and keep a small profit." Notice the boldness here, asking without shame, with determination, just like speaking English before fluency. Courage opens opportunities you thought were impossible. Mr. Anderson raised an eyebrow. "And why should I trust you?" "Young man," he asked. Leo replied firmly, "Because I am determined and I will work hard to prove myself." After a long pause, Mr. Anderson said, "All right, I'll give you bread for 1 week if you fail to pay me back. Don't bother coming here again." Every risk carries rejection's shadow. Yet when faith and determination are clear, even the hardest hearts may open. Trust is earned with resolve, not excuses. Leo was thrilled early the next morning. He carried the bread back to his town and set up a small stand near the park. He greeted every passerby with energy and a smile, saying, "Fresh bread, warm and delicious." This is a lesson in presentation. A smile, energy, and passion often become the true product we sell, whether it's bread, ideas, or spoken words in English. At first, people were hesitant. They didn't know if the bread was good. But Leo offered free samples and soon had his first customer. By the end of the day, he had sold all the bread and made a small profit. Small wins matter. Like Leo's first customer, your first conversation in English is proof that progress is real, and it builds courage for the next step. That evening, he returned to Mr. Anderson and paid him back. The old man nodded and said, "You kept your word. Come back tomorrow." From then on, Leo worked tirelessly. He woke up at 4 a.m., walked to the bakery, carried bread to his town, and sold it with passion. Discipline transforms dreams into reality, just like waking daily to practice English. Consistency compounds into mastery. Hard work becomes momentum. Momentum becomes change. After 2 months, he had saved enough money to buy a small cart. Making it easier to transport more bread, one day a customer suggested, "Leo, why don't you bake your own bread? You're good at selling, but if you bake, you'll make more profit." This advice shifted everything, like a teacher telling you to stop memorizing and start using English daily. Growth often means stepping into the unfamiliar and uncomfortable. This idea excited Leo, but it also scared him. He had never baked anything in his life. This was the moment where Leo realized nothing is free, not success, not knowledge, not growth. If I want to succeed, I must take risks and learn. Fear is the doorway to transformation. Every new skill feels impossible until practice carves a path. For learners, speaking English is that same threshold of fear. Leo couldn't stop thinking about the idea of baking his own bread. If he could bake, he wouldn't have to rely on Mr. Anderson, and his profit would grow. But there was one big problem: he didn't know how to bake. Problems reveal opportunity. The lack of knowledge is never a dead end. It's an invitation to learn, to stretch, to prove nothing is free, but everything is possible. Leo decided to ask Mr. Anderson for help the next morning. After delivering his payment, Leo said, "Mr. Anderson, can you teach me how to bake?" Asking for guidance, never weakness. It is strength. Just as Leo sought knowledge, language learners thrive when they ask questions and seek support. The old man frowned. "Why should I teach you? If you bake, you won't buy from me anymore. That's bad for my business." Leo looked at him and said, "You're right, but I won't forget the man who gave me my first chance. If I succeed, I'll make sure to help your bakery too." This exchange shows humility and loyalty. Respecting those who help us opens doors. Gratitude is the bridge between opportunity and lifelong partnership. Mr. Anderson thought for a moment, then said, "Fine, but baking isn't easy. It takes time, patience, and hard work. If you're ready for that, I'll teach you." True mentors always test your resolve. Before handing wisdom, they ask, "Are you willing to suffer, to wait, to persist?" That is where growth begins. The lessons began early the next morning. Leo arrived at the bakery at 3 a.m. before the sun was up. Mr. Anderson showed him how to mix flour, knead the dough, and bake it perfectly. Every discipline has its dawn, just like studying English before distractions of the day. Leo's early mornings built the quiet foundation of mastery. At first, Leo struggled. His hands hurt from kneading, and his bread came out too hard or too soft. One day, after ruining another batch of bread, Leo sat down feeling defeated. He said to, "Maybe I'm not good enough for this. Maybe I should give up." This moment is universal. We all know failure that whispers quit. Yet failure is not the end. It is the tuition fee of growth. But then he remembered his father's words. Dreams are not free. He realized that every mistake was teaching him something new. Giving up was not an option. Clarity returned through memory. His father's words became fuel. Like remembering why you started learning English. Purpose reignites determination when progress feels slow. The next day, Leo went back to the bakery with even more determination. He practiced every single step carefully, slowly. His bread started improving after 2 weeks. Mr. Anderson handed him a loaf and said, "This is perfect, Leo. You're ready?" Mastery blooms quietly, step by step. Skill replaces struggle. Progress in English, too. One word, one phrase, one conversation becomes a testimony of growth. Leo was overjoyed. He rented a small oven and began baking bread at home. His family was amazed by his hard work. Sophie, his little sister, helped him pack the bread, and his mother made tea for him while he worked late into the night. This is the beauty of vision. It spreads. When one person commits, the whole family feels hope. Motivation multiplies through shared sacrifice and joy. Soon, Leo wasn't just selling bread, he started making cookies and pastries too. People in the town loved his products. They said Leo's bread tastes better than anything we've had before. Excellence invites recognition. When effort becomes consistent, people notice. Just like when your English suddenly flows naturally, others see the transformation before you fully do. But success wasn't easy one day. A new bakery opened in the town run by a young man named Eric. Eric had a big fancy shop with colorful signs and decorations. People were curious and started buying from him instead. Competition is inevitable. There will always be someone better, louder, shinier. But comparison is not defeat. It is a challenge to innovate and improve. Leo noticed his sales dropping. He felt scared. What if he lost everything he worked so hard for? But instead of panicking, Leo decided to improve. He listened to his customers and asked, "What do you like about Eric's Bakery? What can I do better?" This is resilience in action, asking questions, seeking feedback. It's the same with learning. Mistakes are not the end. They are messages showing where to grow. Some said Eric's shop looks clean and pretty. Others said his cakes have beautiful designs. Leo realized he needed to grow not just as a baker, but as a businessman. Growth demands adaptation. To thrive, Leo had to evolve. Just as English learners must move from vocabulary to fluency, change is the bridge to lasting success. Using his savings, Leo painted, his cart added bright decorations, and started offering free samples of his new pastries. He even learned how to decorate cakes by watching videos in the library. Slowly, customers returned to him. Resourcefulness is powerful. With small adjustments and creativity, Leo rebuilt trust. Similarly, with consistent practice and small tools, English learners rebuild confidence and fluency. One evening, an elderly woman came to Leo and said, "I've seen many young men give up when times get hard, but you didn't. That's why we trust you." Her words filled Leo with pride. Encouragement from others often arrives at the moment we most need it. Recognition reminds us that persistence is never invisible. It inspires silently. Months passed and Leo's business grew. He saved enough money to rent a small shop. It wasn't as big as Eric's, but it was warm and welcoming. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakes. Beginnings don't need grandeur. They need authenticity. Warmth and consistency matter more than size or style. Values that make both businesses and relationships last. Every morning he woke up. Before sunrise, baked fresh bread and opened his shop with a smile. His parents and sister helped him. Sophie, now 11, loved talking to customers, and Claire managed the accounts. Success is never solitary. True progress draws family, friends, and community together. Like learning, it's a journey best shared with those you love. But Leo knew this wasn't the end of his journey. He wanted to reach more people, make his family proud, and prove to himself that anything is possible with hard work. Here, ambition grew wings. Leo's bakery was no longer just bread, it was purpose. His story reminds us nothing is free, but everything is possible. Leo's Bakery. Leo's Fresh Bakes was becoming the heart of the town. People loved his fresh bread. Cakes and pastries business was growing, and his family was proud of him, but life wasn't done testing Leo. Success often shines brightest before the storm. Life always finds a way to test the strength of our dreams, refining us through unexpected challenges. One stormy night, as Leo was closing his shop, he noticed smoke coming from the bakery. He rushed inside and saw that a small fire had started near the oven. Crisis comes without warning. Just as with sudden failures in life or learning, chaos strikes when we least expect it, demanding quick courage over fear. He quickly grabbed water and managed to stop the flames, but much of his equipment was damaged the next morning. When the townspeople heard about the fire, they came to check on him. Some said, "What will Leo do now?" Others whispered, "Maybe this is the end for him." Doubt always surrounds us when we stumble. Some voices question, some pity, some criticize, but the real voice that matters is our own. Leo felt heartbroken, but not defeated. He stood outside his bakery and said, "This is just a challenge. I've faced struggles before, and I will face this too. I won't give up." This is resilience spoken aloud. Sometimes courage is declaring hope in public, making it real, even when everything inside us wants to collapse. He took a deep breath and began making a plan. He calculated how much money he had saved and realized it wasn't enough to replace all the equipment. For a moment, fear crept in, but Leo remembered his journey, how he started with nothing but a dream and hard work. When fear returns, memory becomes a weapon. Looking back at where you started reminds you that survival is proof. You can always rise again. Instead of sitting and worrying, Leo asked for help. He approached Mr. Anderson, who had retired, and said, "Sir, I need advice. What would you do if you were me?" Humility is power. Asking for help shows courage, not weakness. In learning English or chasing dreams, questions open doors pride would leave shut. Mr. Anderson smiled and said, "Leo, you already know the answer. You've taught yourself that nothing is free. Work harder. Believe in yourself and people will believe in you too." The greatest mentors do not give answers. They reveal truths already inside us. Confidence grows when someone reminds us of the strength we already carry. Inspired, Leo decided to rebuild. Didn't wait for someone to rescue him. He started baking at home again with the little equipment he had left. He told his customers, "I won't let you down. I'll keep serving you, even if it's just a small amount for now." Persistence is refusing to stop even with less. It is the same with learning. Speak with the words you know, and soon more words will follow. The townspeople admired his courage. Many of them started helping him. Some donated ingredients, others gave small amounts of money, and a few offered their time to help him clean and repair the bakery. Courage inspires community. When people see relentless effort, they feel moved to help. Effort is contagious. It draws support, loyalty, and trust. Leo realized something important: when you work hard and never give up, people notice. They want to help someone who helps themselves. This is a timeless truth. The world rarely helps the passive, but it rallies behind those who show grit, fight, and determination to keep moving. After months of hard work, Leo reopened his bakery. It was better than ever. He painted the walls, added new decorations, and even introduced new items like cupcakes and muffins. His customers were overjoyed. Restoration carries beauty. What once burned became renewed, stronger and brighter. Failure, when embraced, often gives birth to a greater version of success. On the day of the grand reopening, the town's mayor came and said, "Leo, you are a true inspiration. You've shown us all that. With determination, anything is possible." Recognition follows perseverance. True respect is not given to those who never fall, but to those who rise again, stronger than before. After falling hard, Leo stood in front of the crowd and said, "I want to thank each one of you. You've taught me that nothing in life is free, not success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned with hard work, patience, and persistence. Never let failure stop you. Every challenge is just a step to something greater." These words are more than gratitude. They are a universal roadmap. Hard work, patience, persistence, the price of every dream, whether in language, career, or life. From that day, Leo's Bakery didn't just sell bread, it became a symbol of hope. People from other towns started visiting to meet the young man who never gave up. Hope became his legacy. His bakery was not just food, it was inspiration. Proof that courage and work transform ordinary people into extraordinary stories. Leo's story teaches us that dreams are not free, they require hard work and sacrifice. 2, failure is not the end, it's a chance to learn and grow stronger. 3, help yourself first. When people see your effort, they will support you. 4, never give up. The darkest moments are often just before success. Here are the eternal lessons. Sacrifice fuels dreams. Failure builds strength. Self-help invites support. And perseverance breaks through just before dawn's light. Who didn't just build a bakery, he built a life full of purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you. Whatever your dream is, don't stop chasing it. Remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible. What does this mean for you today? It means your English, your career, your family's future, whatever your dream, demands persistence. Nothing is free, but everything is possible. Like Leo, you can rise, rebuild, and inspire. Let his story push you forward. Subscribe, share this video, and keep chasing your dreams with courage.